And before we get into the new content, I just want to kind of refresh your memory of the things that we've already talked about back in that 70-410 course that we went through back when you were taking your last exam. And if you did not actually participate in that course, you might want to flip back to the Managed Group Policy course back in that 70-410 learning path here in Pluralsight, where we went through a variety of foundational topics that get us prepared for what we'll discuss here in this course. Back in the 410, we went through the individual components of group policy, essentially what makes up a group policy and its two different halves, the computer half and then the user half. We also talked about group policy application, essentially how you get group policy applied to different objects and containers in your Active Directory. We also took a look through group policy precedents, which I will repeat here in the clip coming up because it's important to recognize in the multiple different locations where you could apply a group policy object, there are different priorities that occur depending on where you apply that GPO. We explored a bit about the group policy file format, the old format prior to Windows Server 2008 R2, and then the new format, the ADMX format, which is XML based. We created a group policy central store, which is a mechanism to configure all of the group policy templates in a single location so that pointers can be configured in the sysvol to reduce the total size of sysvol that needs to be replicated around. We went through and configured some starter GPOs, a somewhat limited function that allows you to create the foundations of a GPO that you could potentially share with your friends. We linked those GPOs to organizational units, and then we explored just a bit about the local side of group policy, or essentially the application of group policy on single machines when you don't have the Active Directory group policy part of policies available. Again, everything we'll talk about here in this course assumes that you have a familiarity, an understanding of the things that we discussed back in 70-410.